once ruled the earth, and what if they finally decided to take it back? Following this, Abraham Kenyatta, a safari guide at Kituko Safari Camp, can be seen preparing for an early morning safari ride for the tourists. He enters his camp and notices his nephew watching videos of a scientist, Robert Oz, revealing that his latest experiments have concluded something shocking. Soon, all animals from around the world will change and stop obeying humans. They will hunt down all humans until they are wiped off the face of the earth. Meanwhile, Abraham wakes up his partner, who also happens to be Robert's son, Jackson, and asks him to get ready for a safari ride. After a while, the two hop on their safari jeep and guide a group of tourists through the grasslands. Along the way, they notice a trophy hunter trying to shoot a rhino, but Jackson cleverly plays loud music and scares the animal away, hence foiling the hunter's plan. The scene then shifts to Los Angeles, where two men come out of a bar and try to relieve themselves around a corner. Suddenly, two lions appear out of nowhere and gobble them up. The following day, a news reporter at LA Telegraph, Jamie Campbell, watches the news of lions escaping from the city zoo and killing 3 people. Following some research, she learns that the lions started acting strangely after they were fed food supplies from Raiden Global, a biotechnology company. That evening, as Jamie is conducting an interview, she gets to know that several cats from the neighborhood have gone missing in recent days. The next morning, Jamie visits the zoo and meets veterinary pathologist Mitch Morgan. After a quick chat, Mitch takes her to his lab and dismisses her suspicion that the food from Raiden Global caused the lions to be violent. He also reveals that the lions have since been put down, as they had become too dangerous to tame. Before he leaves, Jamie informs him about the missing cats. In Botswana, Jackson and Abraham fly to Masismako camp and get shocked to find it completely deserted. Not even a single tourist or staff member is present. Just then, Jackson finds a video camera lying on the ground. When he plays it, he sees the tourists running away from something. Outside, they discover a single lion's footprint and become confused how a solitary animal could scare 100 people away. Sensing that something bad might have happened, the two set off to search for the tourists. After a while, they find a bus stopped in the middle of the tall grass field. Both the guides grab a rifle and get out of their vehicle, with Abraham asking Jackson to stay behind and look out for him. When Abraham enters the bus, suddenly, a woman walks out of the tall grass and approaches Jackson. She nervously mentions that they should run, and just then, a lion enters the bus and attacks Abraham. Jackson is devastated to hear his best friend's screams, but before he can help, a bunch of other lions show up. As a result, he reluctantly gets into his jeep and drives away with the woman, leaving his friend to die. On their way, the woman introduces herself as a French tourist, Chloe, and reveals about how she and her group got attacked by a group of lions when they were out to see gazelles. Unfortunately, their day goes from bad to worse when the jeep suddenly breaks down, with the camp still 6 miles away. Jackson suggests they walk to the camp, but Chloe is afraid, as she has seen the barbaric man eating lions. However, when Jackson assures her that lions do not attack when they are full, she reluctantly agrees. After a while, as the two are walking alongside a river, they are approached by yet another group of lions. The duo freezes in horror, and when one of the lions comes near them, Jackson notices that its eyes have defiant pupils. This apparently means that the lion is dangerous, and right then, Jackson and Chloe slip and fall from a small cliff. Fortunately, they are not injured, and they make it safely to camp. There, Jackson hypothesizes that his father, Robert Oz, was right all along. The animals have started acting crazy. Hence, he immediately calls the Botswana Center for a research and rescue team. Back in LA, Jamie receives a message from Mitch, mentioning that he has found the missing cats. She immediately drives off and finds him waiting for her at an elementary school. To her surprise, Mitch shows her a tree full of cats and assumes that they are being controlled by something strange. Jamie wastes no time and calls animal rescue, while Mitch finds a small honeysuckle plant under the tree. Surprisingly, when he picks up the plant, all the cats climb down the tree and walk away. In Botswana, the rescue team finally arrives at the camp, but instead of helping, they arrest Jackson for interfering with lawful hunting. Meanwhile, a few kilometers away, a lion drags a lifeless Abraham up a tree, while the other lions simply watch. The next day, Jackson somehow gets out of prison by pleading with the guard, Kavimba, that he has to go. He explains that something strange is happening outside, and that they have to solve it before the situation gets worse. Hearing this, Kavimba also decides to accompany him. When Jackson steps out of the prison, he meets Chloe, ready to leave for Paris. They exchange numbers before departing. Next, Jackson and Kavimba, along with a jeep driver, visit the place where Abraham was attacked by the lions before. They notice a trail of blood, and after following it, find Abraham lying on a tree. Disregarding the danger, Jackson rushes to save his friend, while the other two follow him closely. Surprisingly, Abraham is still alive, and he tries to warn Jackson about the lions. The group somehow manages to place him in the jeep, and at the same time, the pride of male lions also arrives. However, they do not attack the humans and simply watch them leave. It appears as if they wanted the humans to leave. In the next scene, the men have already arrived at the camp where Jackson's mother, Elizabeth Oz, is looking after the injured people. She reveals to Jackson that Abraham